What is up, guys? If you want the gills, we got the skills right here at 302 Fishing. I had to get out of the house today. This coronavirus, man, it's driving everybody absolutely insane, loony. Whatever's happening, it's just driving everybody nuts. And I'm sure we all can't wait for it to be over, but thank goodness we're in a state where fishing has not been blocked, and I gotta get out of the house and I have to relax. I sit at a desk for 8 hours straight looking at a wall, and it gets very maddening. You know, I do my hardest to provide for the family while we're going through here. Like I said, I'm one of the fortunate ones that do actually have a paycheck, but I don't know whether I'm gonna get my job one day to the next. So I gotta take every day with a grain of salt and enjoy it too as well. So that's why I'm going out right now. Today's topic right here, bass fishing after a storm. Earlier today we had a thunderstorm, pretty good one, and I'm looking at my the Bass Forecast app that I just downloaded here, the one that rates how good it is to fish each day, and it's giving me a very good rating right now. So I've caught a lot of bass after the storm that are really nice. I'm talking about 5-pounders or bigger off of storms and everything. So that's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to get out there and we're going to try some heavy baits because it is still quite windy. This week has been 10 all the way up to 30-mile-an-hour winds, and it just has not ceased here in Delaware. So we're probably gonna be throwing crankbaits to cut through that wind and get out there. Maybe a jerkbait, I don't know. I haven't decided as of yet, but give me a couple minutes. Let's get down to that pond, and hopefully, guys, if we're lucky, we get some fish on. The app I was talking about in the intro right there is the Bass Forecast rating app here. That's the one I'm getting ready to pull up right now. And that's what I based my judgment on as to why I wanted to come out, because it was kind of iffy earlier in the day. As I told you, that storm did come through. And it's been sunny for at least a good hour and a half or so. And I don't see anything coming along major here. And I haven't heard anything in the weather reports. But this app is pretty good. I mean, it tells you the weather. Gives you pressure up or down, whether it's going up in the barometer or down in the barometer. Gives you the good times to fish at. Gives you the rating right there. Very simple. Out of 10 is great. 6.5 is good. That's close enough for me. That's why I'm coming out. Of course, it'll tell you sunset, sunrise, all the stages of the moon, yada yada yada. I mean, you got all kinds of stuff here. If you pay like $9.99 for the year, basically it's like 99 cents a month. It'll give you a 10-day forecast, and obviously it changes every day too when you go there, but still it's a good barometer to try to figure out whether it's a good day to go out and fish or not. And that's why I took up on it. I'm going to try to rely on this app to see if this app is kind of accurate. So give me a couple seconds. Let's grab these rods up right here. Let's start casting some lines out, and let's see if we can pick up a bass or two. Got about an hour and a half worth of light right here, and then we'll head our way home. But like I said, bass fishing after a storm, before a storm, or sometimes in the storm, you can get some good fish here, man. You just got to be patient and know what to use when you're out. But like I said, I've got what I feel are good tools right now. I'm not going to cast really fast right now, but I know there's usually a big one that sits right where this tube is at, so I'm going to kind of stay a little far away, and we're going to go ahead and toss that jig in there first. And we've got a little trail that's on the end of it. It's a bandito bug. I only have the crawl part on it, but I took off the little trailers on the side. But we're gonna toss that over there. Let's see something sitting right there, guys. Usually there's something sitting right in that corner, but I don't want to get too close. But of course I don't want to get caught up in all these sticks either. Oh boy. When the summer comes by, this will be covered in algae, man, and you drop a frog right on here, man, there's usually, like I said, a good old donkey that sits back here. But we haven't seen any of these bluegills and all the usual bait fish coming close to the edges as of yet. I'm still seeing no clear sign of that yet. Oh. We're not going to fish the whole perimeter here. We are only going to go in locations I think will be strong locations to catch fish at, like right here by this drain. Over in that area here has a whole bedding area out there. Over in this closed off point here, and then if you go further down, there's two other sewer lines, not like as big as these, but where fish do like to sit at. And we may be able to pick up one or two over there. All right, nothing with the few casts that we threw over here with the jig here. We're gonna pop out the crankbait, and we are just gonna go ahead and jam that right out there. This ground here is nice and sandy and should be firm, and I should be able to get a good decent cast out. And we're just gonna try to fan out all over the place here, guys. I'm sure there's gonna be a bass or two hanging out there somewhere. I don't see a lot of junk here, so we should have clear shots underneath the water here with this crankbait. Get the glasses on here, see if we got anything going on around us. The water's just too cloudy right now that I can't really see underneath the water here. So this pond, even though you see residents right here, there's always a pond right next to Walmart. The Walmart's right at the end of this pond right here, so any time you beam down there on your Google Maps right there and you find every Walmart location you can see, you're always going to see a decent sized retention pond, and that's what this is right here. Very heavily fished, guys. I don't know how many fish we're going to catch off of here. The main focus again is going to be down in that back end over there, because those pipes usually produce pretty good, but I wanted to get a couple shots down here while we can. But this one right here, we can pass behind these houses and fish. Hardly anybody bothers me whatsoever when I'm out here, but we'll see how far we can get over here. Like I said, we're going to go in a big old loop here, get our exercise in for today, since I work a pretty sedentary job, which just means I sit down on my butt a lot. Gotta work the muffin top off, guys. Starting to pick up a little more stuff here. Not too bad. Enough to interfere with the troubles though. It doesn't take much to knock off the way this bait comes through the water. Even that little stick will make that bait just come in a sideways action, which is not what you want. You want that bait flowing through, true and true, through that water, straight at you. I promise you, we're going to pick up one or two fish. As long as you hang with me, it's going to happen. Oop, there's a fish right there that's banged me. Oh no, it looks like some type of algae right there. Yeah, a little bloom right there. All right, one more cast. All right, take a few more steps down. Once I get about halfway down, I'll get the chatterbait a little bit more involved. A key to trying to catch some fish here, guys, even when you're not having a good time right now, is to pay attention to the wildlife and what it's doing right here. Delaware, you see nothing but white egrets, and you see the great blue heron. When you see the great blue heron, you know that thing is going to be catching minnows, and it's going to be catching bluegills or sunnies. So where that bird is at, if you decide to fly off, you know more than likely there's going to be probably a bass around there, because bass are always going to be around some source of food, which is the bait fish that I'm talking about. But we'll make our way around there. I know right where that tree is, where the rod is at, to the left of it, that's where that great blue heron is at. And there's a pipe right there. That's where some bass sit at. There's another pipe maybe 20 feet away from it, and a one over here way into the corner right here. But let's keep casting. Put the grind in and get the fish on. Oop, there's a fish right there. Ah, totally missed them, guys. That was a decent one too. We'll come right back over that. That was a good yank on that line. All right, let's go ahead and get our chatterbait out. We were getting a couple good bumps off of the crankbait. Maybe a color change might help out. Start from our left and fan over across here. This one we're going to let sink down to the bottom, jig it up, and we'll ride the bottom a little bit, start playing in the middle of the water column here. Slow rolling, guys, slow rolling. Still looking around here with my glasses and seeing no minnows and bluegills on the sides here. That's not to say that these bass over in those sections I told you about aren't going to be shallow. Well, so far, this bass forecast app is not proving itself out to its worth right now. But after watching a few reviews and everything else like that, they're not saying it's 100% accurate, but it's just like the weather, man. They say they know the weather all the time, even with all the sophistication and everything else like that, and sometimes they get proven wrong multiple times. We do have a full moon that is coming up. I think it's tomorrow, believe it or not. Hopefully that would have an effect. I'm going to try to get out tomorrow and fish during that full moon, if I can, depending what the weather and the winds look like. There's a fish right there, guys. I think we got one on, finally. Yep, that's a fish. Oh, Lord. That's a good pull, guys. That's a good pull. It feels like a good one. Where's it at? There it is. Oh, yes. That's a nice one, guys. About 2 pounds. All right. All right. Barely hooked, guys. Barely hooked. There we go. Chatterbait gets it. I cast it over to the other shoreline. Woo! And we picked up the fish. Some food in her belly right there. I'm not going to wear it, but I'm going to say, if I had to guess, good solid 2 pounds. It's a pretty looking fish. But let's get it on our way. But I'm glad we got one on already. Skunk is off. Let's go ahead and get the aeration going on as we usually do. Yeah, that water's definitely chilly, guys. But here we go. She's gone. All right, so on that hit right there, I threw it across to the shoreline, and I felt a couple drags on the bottom, like I was getting caught on, like, the normal stuff that's right there on the edge of a shoreline. And then I just felt a long pull. My line was still moving, but I felt the pull, and there was no solid hit, so that's why I decided to pull back on the line. And of course, lo and behold, we got a bass on. But let's see if we can get some more. And I will say, usually I always use soft plastic here because how finicky these bass are. But that is the first time of me catching a bass on a chatterbait on this particular pond right here. So at least now I know they will hit it. Sometimes you got to worry about these places here because you got iffy people. I'm kind of parked in a secluded area, and I don't like when people come rolling by very slow, going over where my car is at, and God knows what the heck they're doing. We'll have to go up to the top of the hill and just take a gander down and see if there's anything nefarious going on. That was a hit. That's a hit. There's a fish right there, guys. Oh, man. I had him, guys. I had him. See if it'll come back for it a second time. Literally casting blind. I got glasses on, but the sun is still bright. If you like what you're seeing so far, guys, do us a favor, man. Drop us a thumbs up there. Again, we're going to try to keep casting along here and trying to get some more fish. We are getting some love taps on the lipless, but nothing committing yet. I got a feeling we might get a big one on this one. You never know. There's a fish right there, guys. We got him. We got him. He finally hit it. Nice. Finally hit that crankbait. There you go. Another 2-pounder, guys. Boom. I knew that fish was going to hit there, right in the same spot where he hit that bait big time. Look how fat this thing is, guys. Check him out. He's not a monster, but boy, does this fish have a gut on it. Look at how filled up that bass's belly. Oh my God, man. God knows how much he's got in there. You can't see nothing down the gullet there at all. But I knew it was a matter of time before that fish got agitated enough in order to hit that bait. But let's get in the water here. Let's go ahead and give this one a nice release here. Look at all these fry right here. But thank you for the second hit there. Boom. Oh, where's that fish going? He's sitting right in there somewhere. He disappeared in the darkness. I think he doesn't know where he's at. Is he still there? I guess he went. I didn't see him leave. All right, she's gone. Just for curiosity's sake, I can't see there because it's like real muddy, but let's see if that bass is still there. There he is, right there. He was still there. When we're over there in that other spot there, I had multiple hits right out in the middle there, and then I threw it out there one time, and you saw me bend the rod right there. I had him on. He got off. A few more casts right there in the same spot. Bang. But there is a natural point there. I'm going to explain that to you once I bring this retrieve in here so I can pay attention to what I'm doing. Usually when I'm not paying attention, I end up missing a fish. So you can't see, well, you can kind of see it right where the sunlight, the beam right here is. There's these two trees and there's those bushes right there. There's actually a point that goes out just like this, and it was probably sitting right off of that point right there in the middle, and that's why I decided to hit there, man, waiting for fish to come around the corner on those points. But we got our great blue heron off of the spot that we need to be on, so that's kind of good. We don't want to worry about disturbing the blue heron. That's one thing you guys shouldn't do, man. Don't go walking up on these birds and everything else, man. Let them be in their natural deal of catching their prey. Try not to disturb them, obviously. And less chance of you hooking up on the birds. It does happen occasionally. I've seen it. I went to Indian River Inlet one time. This guy just had a big old rod. He was trying to whip it 900 miles an hour, and a seagull came right across, man. Hooked him right in the head. So that wasn't an easy surgery, but the guy was able to get the hook out after 10 or 15 minutes of the seagull screaming his brains out. But fortunately, it was a nice release, and the bird was able to fly up and do his thing. But that was a big old belly on that fish. And again, I'm sure if it didn't have that fat belly there, the food or eggs, whichever may be carrying, that bass probably is less than a pound, but it gorged itself. So I'm gonna give it close to 2, maybe. But we're pressed for time. There's oh man, I think that was the bottom. We'll throw it back out there one more time. Let me just see what happens. Is there anything on the bottom of there? Let's just try it one more time. Might have been a hit, who knows? All right, we're gonna go to one of 3 locations that I know we're gonna pick up a bass on. It's just a matter of which one it's gonna be. My feeling is gonna be over where those rocks are at, where the pipe is at, over in this far corner over here. I'm going to tie one more lipless crankbait on here. I have the Aruku Shad by Spro. Lots and lots of rattle. I'm going to see if we can spring one more bass up out of this water right here. We're not getting anything off of the chatterbait and nothing off the jig. I thought for sure we were going to try to get something off them pipes, but I guess it didn't work out. But we'll go with what's been working. They apparently want that loud profile. I really like the way this bait looks. I mean, it looks so natural, it's not even funny, man. Kind of reminds me of like a golden shiner, maybe a mill roach of some sort. But we'll get this finished up and tied, and we'll hit these last few seconds of light that are left. All right, last spot to fish in. Let's see if we can pull one out of here, this choke point here coming the opposite way. Cast a couple over here. Hopefully there's no debris over here that I'm going to get caught on. you go, fish on, guys. Oh, he came off. Oh man, that was a monster too. Oh my goodness gracious. Totally missed that one. That was a huge monster. That sucks. Oh, there's a fish right there, guys. Fish right at the shoreline. All right, go ahead and end it out. All about the same size, guys. About 2 pounds. That one's got a nice little chunk too. All right. I knew it was a matter of time before one picked up on it, man. That thing, I wish we had that fish right over there, guys. That was a 5-pounder that was sitting out there, I guarantee you. All right, so the established pattern was the rattle trap. We did get one off of the chatterbait, but most of the fish were hitting off that lipless crankbait. Got a nice little belly on this one right here too as well, and we'll send that one on its way. And we're gonna throw a few more casts, guys. We might land a big one, you never know. I shot for a half an hour more on that episode right there, and we lost all of our available light and we got no more fish. But we did catch 3, guys. I mean, they were nice looking 2-pounders, especially that middle one, man. That thing had a big old gut on it. I don't know if it ate every minnow in the pond or there's just that much roe in that fish. But you heard me talking about the app earlier. That's the Bass Fishing Resource app. And I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, and I'll explain why. Even though we caught 3 fish, which is not a lot of fish, it gave us that 6.5 rating. I think we would have at least had 10 or more fish combined if we had 10 degrees worth more temperature here, and they would have committed far more better towards that lipless crankbait than would have been that 50-degree day we just got done fishing right here. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and still give it an 8 out of 10. Useful information, guys. I mean, you know, most people go out just to go ahead and fish recreationally, doing whatever. But again, when you're trying to shoot these videos right here, you're going to try to get as many pieces of information that you can to try to build up the episode that you're trying to shoot. And again, you want to load yourself with knowledge, because you're going to need that in order to go ahead and try to create these episodes. Because sometimes you know, you got to put that grind in there, guys. Even when you got everything going your way, sometimes it just doesn't work that way. But if you got that one little piece of information that could change that video, you'll use it. And that's what we try to do here each and every time when we go ahead and go out and fish for you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. I'm going to kick rocks. I'm sorry it took a couple days to get the outro at the end of this video, but it is what it is. It happens every once in a while. Guys, we are still going to do our weekly episodes, but while we're still locked down and I'm still working from home, I'm going to try to get out once or twice a week and try to do these 1 and maybe 1.5 hour episodes to go ahead and try to give you a little bit more extra content. But the weather's starting to warm up. We're hoping for that spawn to come. We've been promising you for 2 weeks, but this week I think it is definitely going to be there. It's way up in the 60s all week long. The lows are going to be in the upper 50s. There should be no reason why these fish should not appear on their beds. Bass, bluegill, minnow, whatever fish that's out there, they better be coming in close, because we're getting tired and we want to hit some of them big mamas that are bedding out there in these ponds that we're going to be fishing on in lakes. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Like, subscribe, push that notification bell. Go ahead and share our video out. And as always, guys, it never ends right here. Continue on right here. You got a couple great videos right there, and you can binge watch right in our playlist as always. I'm out of here, guys. Have a great day, and as always, fish on.